Hello, everybody, and welcome back to day 2 of the Women's World Snooker U.S. Open live in Seattle, Washington, USA. We're happy to have you tuning in. It's moving day here, lots of shaking and baking, and definitely we're going to get the knockout round set at the end of today, so we're glad you're tuning in. But we'll have a quick little message from one of our chief sponsors, Andrew Wilson, wishing all our players the best.
Hello, I'm Andrew Wilson, Chief Digital Officer here at Microsoft. I'd like to congratulate you all on the first US Women's Snooker Tournament here in the United States. Have fun, and I wish you all the very best of luck with your games.
Thank you very much, Andrew. Great words there for all our competitors. We have Dave Daly getting everything set up, and we've got a wonderful match to kick us off here. We've got Emma Parker against Mary Tybalt. Two friends, great friends, traveling together, really buddies on the tour, but now sworn enemies on the table. There's no friends. And I do have a special guest, one of the players that is in the tournament that's still alive, playing some great snooker all weekend long, Jamie Hunter. How you doing, Jamie?
Very good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Excellent. Thank you for being in the booth. So, Emma against Mary, you side to one or the other, or what do you think about this match?
I think obviously snooker, it depends what happens on the day. Obviously two great players. Emma's one of the up-and-coming young talents. Mary's joined the game back after 15, 16-year absence, but she took it in her stride. She looked like she's never been away, so it's hard to decide, but it just depends how the balls run and who brings their A game.
Definitely. I was noticing, I was kind of actually shocked when I heard Mary had a 15-year absence from the game, because watching her this weekend, she's just a phenomenal potter and great safety play.
Yeah, she's one of the girls who does actually put quite a lot of time in on the practice table, which obviously, so she's able to reproduce it on the match table.
Wonderful.
So that obviously gives her an edge over the others, because that's what snooker's all about, the effort.
True. That's a great little long pot opener for Emma.
It's always nice. First frame, when they go in, settle the nerves.
True. I think this is Mary's last match of the round robin and her first today. Both players are looking fantastic. Both are undefeated. So this is really going to decide who's going to be first in their group.
I would say so, yeah. Obviously, Emma there getting that long pot in first, that'll settle her down well. If she can score 20, 30 years, she'll feel comfortable quickly, which should get her in her stride quite fast.
How would you handle and prepare for a match like this? You're going against a really good friend, but obviously there's no friends when you're on the table, correct?
Oh, absolutely. It's just another person you're playing against. You can't get too involved in who it is, how good they are. You just have to stay calm. Like a lot of snooker's about mindset, so you've got to keep a clear mind. You've just got to play the shot that's in front of you. You can't be getting down on the shot and thinking, oh, these are really good, if I miss, I've lost. Because there's the higher likelihood that you're going to miss. You've just got to concentrate, play the shot that's in front of you, and just take it one step at a time.
Jamie, how did you get into the game?
I only started playing when I was 19.
Okay.
I used to be an avid football player.
All right.
Soccer, sorry.
No worries. No, it's all right.
But I broke my ankle. The doctor said that it was all over for me. And when you've got that competitiveness built within who you are, I needed something to take that craving away of competitiveness. And the only sport I could really find that didn't involve running other than golf, because I'm absolutely shocking at golf, was snooker. And I just went one day and fell in love, and here we are.
Great. Hit off the horn has kind of left that red open. It is a long pot there for Emma, but as we saw earlier, she can knock them in.
Oh yeah, I think she's 100% taking this on. Bit unfortunate there to hit the black. So maybe looks like she's probably skimming off this black to leave the white up behind the yellow.
Yeah, you're not thinking of taking that black into the side. Obviously, being a right-hander is not too bad. You're not going over the reds, but
these tables, the angle where you can get them into the middle just shrinks so quickly. So looking from this angle here, it looks as if it's a 2-3 out of 10 shot, and obviously it's just not worth taking it on so early.
Yeah, I've noticed. I think a lot of the North American players that are in the tournament are looking up to you English players and seeing how you play the game and realizing that you don't have to take every shot on. Sometimes you can play that safe shot. It's kind of just knowing your percentages. Yeah,
I think because a lot of the American girls have backgrounds from pool, and you know, without sounding like I'm bringing the pool game down, that you know you can play gung ho in pool. You can just go for everything. In snooker, that you can't get away with just going for pots constantly. You know, you're gonna miss at some point. So obviously, normally it's biding your time, waiting for that, you know, that better chance, rather than trying to make something out of nothing. When you start trying to force it, you know, that's when the mistakes start creeping in. She played an excellent shot there.
Yes, definitely being tight to that bolt cushion, that makes it a little bit more difficult. Can't get a lot of action on the cue ball.
No, you know, you don't even want to be putting side on because you're digging down as well.
Hello there to Vineet, Vancouver player up there in Canada. Vineet, I hope your boys have been practicing, because the owner up here, Mike Dominguez, and I have been talking about a border battle again between Canada and the U.S., and now we have young Marissa here that's a 13-year-old, and Vineet has some teenage boys, so that'll be kind of an interesting match to see. Hopefully the future of North American snooker. Yeah, for all of you, hopefully you're enjoying the stream. We're out here. It's David Burney, and I'm joined with a special guest, Jamie Hunter, one of the players in the tournament, providing their insights and a little background as well, as I believe Jamie knows Emma and Mary a little bit more than I do.
Yeah, so obviously I've known them since joining the tour. Surprisingly, me and Mary actually paired together in the European Championships in the doubles event, and we did actually go on to win it together.
Oh, congratulations. Well done.
So obviously we bonded quite a lot over that week, playing together and winning together.
And whereabouts was that held again?
Portugal.
Portugal. Okay, so yeah, you're going out of your comfort zone. You're traveling away from home, so
yeah,
it's a real good bonding experience.
Yeah, so there was myself, Emma, Murray, Nat Howard, and Bex, who went over together as the England team.
Great.
You know, we come away with a gold medal and a silver medal in the doubles event, 2 semi-finalists in the singles and the and a finalist in the singles as well. So it was a good medal haul for.
Fantastic. Yeah, those are great snooker laid there by Emma. That's what I think you girls from Britain are teaching us, Americans and Canadians, you know. You got to give your opponent a little headache sometimes.
Yeah, one of the things we say back home is, it's the name of the game.
That is true. I try to tell people, I don't think this game's called pot balls.
No, we wish it was, but it's not. But she's in a bit of trouble out here, Mary. It doesn't look as if there's a way that she's able to clearly get out of this without leaving a chance on for Emma, without getting the pace just right and nestling onto a red.
Yeah, with Emma and Mary playing each other so much and being on the tour together, they just know that, you know, it's one thing to get out of the snooker, but you don't want to leave your opponent, because you could be sitting for quite a while with the caliber of these two.
Yeah, but one of the things, you know, when you're getting out with snooker, you're not just trying to figure out how to do it. You're figuring out a way of doing it without leaving your opponent a chance on. So then, which does make it harder. You end up turning down a shot that you would take if you were just at home practicing, just because you don't want to give your opponent that easy chance.
How are you finding your time in Seattle? You enjoying being over here in America?
Absolutely love it.
Yeah? Is it your first time?
First time in Seattle, yeah.
Okay. Well, they don't call it the Emerald City for nothing.
No, I think we've done everything that a tourist could possibly do in Seattle. We did in one day. You know, Space Needle, monorail, the ferry over to Bainbridge Island. We even went in a seaplane around the sea.
Wow. Holy cow.
Just did as much as we could to take it all in. We've been blessed with the weather. You know, we get told that Seattle's just rain.
That is true up in here in the Pacific Northwest. It's a lot like back in England, like around London, you know, grey, overcast, lots of rain and stuff. The weather doesn't get too cold. But I think we're getting a bunch of referees taking part in this respot right now. Everyone's having a go. They just want to get it just right.
Just snooker's all about fractions. So
Definitely.
a millimetre one way or the other can make the shot 10 times easier. So you've got to make sure that you're not giving either player an advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Which is difficult when, you know, we're not on the World Snooker Tour and we've got the pretty cameras with the overlay of where the balls used to be.
Exactly. True. Slowly. We're working on it. And this is a great event. Actually, this is probably the first snooker ranking event in America.
Yeah, the first over the pond, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is obviously amazing for women's snooker. You know, the growth that women's snooker's seen since the pandemic has been phenomenal.
Exactly.
People coming out, you know, I think there's maybe even like near 15, 16 countries represented on the women's tour now.
It's fantastic. Yeah, that's what Mary was saying. She's, you know, I was looking at her stats and I was like, there's a 20-year gap here. What happened, Mary? You know, sometimes maybe family got in the way or something like that. She's like, no, I just took a break from it. But then the pandemic hit and she picked up the cue again and she's just been loving it ever since.
Yeah, I think in the, like when Mary did stop playing, which I believe was late 90s, early 90s, was around about the time when a lot of the women players were coming over to America to join the pool circuit, you know, Alison and Kelly Fisher.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, you know, I can imagine that it's hard travelling hundreds of miles to a tournament and getting there, and there may only being 4 or 5 people.
True, yeah.
And then obviously if all your best players are going elsewhere, like then the backers and the sponsorships that were coming in, which are normally assigned to the bigger players, then that gets lost. So then the incentives kind of dwindle down slightly. So there's another player from England who's actually had like a 20-year absence from the tour as well, who's just come back this season.
Okay.
It's a bit unfortunate.
So, Jamie, are you just rolling up to the blue here, or what's your avenue of attack? What are you thinking on this shot?
If the blue goes past the black, I would be tempted to roll it through and play the red that's just under the pink into the same pocket. I'm not too sure that it does go back, so it does look as if she's just hiding the cue ball behind the blue.
Sure, had a little stutter there on the first one, but didn't hit anything. But
yeah, when you're trying to tap it really softly, you start looking like you're scared to hit the ball.
True. Yeah, I've been watching you play all weekend, and definitely I notice you take a lot of pots on and you put them in the bottom of the pocket.
Yeah,
so,
I would say I am quite a very aggressive player. I also play quite quickly. I think that my average shot time is 10 seconds faster than the next fastest player on the tour.
Wow.
So
The Jimmy White of the ladies tour?
you know, if I'm not ready to hit it straight away, then I'm not ready to hit it after 20 seconds.
Andy, thanks for turning in. Yes, it's great for that. We're expanding the women's game. It's David Burney, and I'm joined by Jamie Hunter, all the way from England. He's doing the commentary for you. Yeah, you talk about those millimeters, and it just seems like Mary's just missing them. And
yeah, you know, it can be one of two things. You know, it could be nerves. If you're missing the middle of the cue ball by a couple of mil, that throws the angle off after when the cue ball contacts the object ball. So, but you know, she's still sitting on 0 points in this first frame here, and she's not really had many clear cut chances, so she's not had time to fully settle down into the game yet.
sure, and then you have Emma burying these long pots like it's nobody's business.
Yeah, but she keeps ending up 2 millimeters away from this blue over and over.
That's true. That might be a costly miss.
I think the red that underneath the pink's the shot here. Hold for the pink in the same pocket. She want to pick at these reds now. Try and score a few points. Settle herself down, get her arm going.
Yeah, it's all kind of like about momentum. You know, you start feeling the groove of potting balls and...
Oh, absolutely. When you're having a bad day, you feel as if the table's against you, you know, the cannons and like the run on the ball. You just feel as if nothing's going your way when you're struggling.
Yeah, how do you feel to handle it if you were playing an opponent and, you know, they've got a couple flukes and you just feel like, what's going on here? Like, my opponent's getting all these flukes. I'm not getting anything.
How I react is probably not the way that you should react. It's very easy to get, to get frustrated at the game because sometimes, you know, there is luck involved and it can be someone else's day rather than yours. But you know, as I said earlier, snooker's all about mindset and how you can handle what's going on around you.
Nice to see that we have the USSA tuning in, the United States Snooker Association. They'll be throwing their U.S. National Tournament a week from today, the Labor Day long weekend, right here at Ox in Seattle, Washington. So.
I keep hearing people mention Labor Day. I have no idea when that is.
Well, it's kind of like how you guys call bank holidays. We have no idea what bank holidays are in North America. That's when
It just means I'm off work, so I like them.
Labor Day is the same day. We're off work.
Yeah. Just reminds me of that film, Cheaper by the Dozen, where they do like the Labor Day contest with like egg throws and.
Sure, I was trying to talking to some of the snooker people over in Sheffield when I was there for the World Championships, and just being like, well, I know it's a bank holiday on Monday, but that's only in England. The rest of the world doesn't have a bank holiday on that Monday. And this is a world tournament. But they were like, it's tradition. I'm like, all right, I'll give it to you.
You know, there is an argument that English people think that only England exists in the world.
I don't get that from you, Jamie. You know, you fell in love with Seattle. We've been talking a little bit about you wanting to come up to Canada. So you seem like a person that's very knowledgeable and know that there's a world outside there beyond England.
Get away from the rain. And it means that I'm not in work. So anything is a bonus.
This has been a nice break of 28 for Marion, and keep going.
Yeah, she's done well considering she's only had the pink down at this end of the table and with the reds clustered together as well, so she's been picking them off quite well. She'll need a good one to continue though.
She did go for it. Our good friend David Brock tuning in. Some of you might remember if you tuned in to the Seattle Open back in March. David Brock was participating as well, joining me in the booth. He had some great words in the commentary booth, some well knowledge, and I think about everybody over in England knows David Brock. Do you know him, Jamie?
No.
Well, there you go, David. As much as you've told me that everyone knows you in England, we've got one English person that doesn't know you. But David's a stand-up chap, really nice guy, so I'm pretty sure he's around the snooker scene, so one day you'll cross paths with him, and it's just a nice treat to be around. Very happy guy. And
yeah, I'm one of them people though where, you know, I can have my phone in my hand and I can ask someone, where's my phone?
So where's the microphone?
I think we might be getting into some tippy-tappy territory here. The reds up in the ball, and neither of them obviously going to play the original safety.
Mm-hmm.
So they're either going to be playing like they just dump the cue ball on the black cushion, or they're just going to keep rolling up to these reds.
Yes, it's definitely a respect thing. Obviously, we have players obviously tuning in that are very new to the game, and that's sometimes a tough part to explain because, you know, you see potting balls, that's exciting, and that's what people want to see, but the safety exchanges are just as important, almost even more, and it's tough to show people and say that this is an important part because you leave a red on, your opponent could run away and take the frame.
Yeah, I think it is a very, you know, technical sport. You know, when you watch it on the telly, it looks like you could just pick a cue up out of the rack and clear the table. But I think the way that you've got to look at it is, would you rather climb 100 stairs or get on an escalator and let them take you up there? So you'd always pick the easier option. So
I like that. Very
waiting
nice.
for your chances is better than trying to force them.
And we have a Janice Hunter tuning in. Is that the president of the Jamie Hunter fan club?
Hi, Mum. I can't believe she's awake. It's 26 minutes past 11 at home.
That's true. Mm-hmm. Well, it is Saturday night, so you never know.
Yeah, a few beers keep you awake. That's a good shout. So she's got Emma in a bit of trouble here. So looks as if she's just going to push the red up to the ball and leave the white on the side cushion.
Well, just update Mom Jamie. You went undefeated in your group, so you're definitely punching your card easily into the quarterfinals as a high seed. So you're looking like one of the favorites going into Championship Sunday. And if anybody out there on the stream wants to find out up-to-date results, they can go to womensnooker.com and they can find the bracket there with all the stats.
Yeah, snookerscores.net is the website, which is
Okay.
linked from World Women's Snooker page. But yeah, I've had a couple of good frames so far this weekend. So, but it's all about Sunday. Doesn't
Sure.
matter what you do earlier in the week. It's all about what happens on Sunday.
And watching you play, you just look like you really enjoy your time out there too.
I
Yeah,
mean,
you have a-
the conditions, at this club are, some of the best that we've ever been.
Wow.
So it's very easy to get going and get your arm going and enjoy your time. And I mean, it's a lot easier to enjoy playing snooker when you're winning.
Yeah, there's one thing of training and kind of knowing the shots and playing them, but then when you can play them on ideal conditions, you know exactly what you're wanting to do. Whereas sometimes if there's a thicker cloth, that draw should have come back more, but it didn't.
Yeah, I think the hardest thing about switching between what we call club tables, which is slower, is that the ball actually comes off the cushion at a different angle.
Mm-hmm.
So then, where you would, if you'd hit the middle of the white when you play the specific shot, you now have to play bottom of the white because it reacts off the cushion differently. So it can be hard to adapt to the different conditions. But when you're playing on tables like this, where they're reactive and the ball runs fast, you can do more without hitting it as hard, which then gives the balls more chance to go in the pockets.
Mm-hmm. So I guess it's easier being a pro because they're playing on ideal conditions all the time, and amateurs have to jump around from all different types of tables. It sounds like.
I mean, they are obviously better than we are, but if you can because I've got my own one of these tables in these conditions, so it's what I'm used to. And I do find it easy to play on them than to play on a club table. But having to switch all the time and you're not always on the same playing field, you can struggle. But there's some people who are fantastic on club tables and then struggle on the good conditions. It just depends what you're used to.
Yeah, I know people sometimes say, "Oh, this table is tough. These conditions are strange," but they have to realize your opponent is playing on the same table.
Yeah, I think between Emma and Murray now, Murray always plays on tables with these conditions, so she'll obviously be more suited to it here. Where Emma has recently moved, so she used to have her own table, but she doesn't anymore. So she's having to play out of clubs, so she's playing on club tables as well. So for her, it would be harder to adapt to these conditions because she's not normally playing on, whereas Murray is. But then on top of that, we're at a ranking tournament, on the opposite side of the world. There's jet lag, lack of sleep. You know, there's pressure from what's happening. You know, these two are fighting for number 1 seed out of their group. So you know, this is a big game. So then that weighs on top of it as well. You know, there's loads of different things that can affect what's going on the table on that any given frame. So you can never just look at a scorecard and go, they're definitely going to win.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We wish we could, because then we'd go to betting shops and then we'd all have loads of money. But
Was nice red by Emma, and that red or that brown does pass the yellow, so could be a good frame winning opportunity here for Emma. It's always nice to get that first frame on the board, especially in these best of 3 when it's only a race to 2.
oh, the first frame is massive in these shorter matches. You add on a bit more pressure of being behind.
But sometimes I feel like when you're playing, you're behind, you kind of find that a different gear, and it just kind of propels you in a more fighting way. Or how do you feel about that?
I would probably say that you think, I'm already losing. What have I actually got left to lose?
True. Yeah.
So then you think, oh well, if I was at home and I was practicing on my own, I'd be knocking these in no problem. So why not now?
True.
I say that was it is. You get a bit fearless.
Okay.
Because if the worst is already happening, i.e. you're losing, it can't get much worse. She's got the natural angle to get on the green here if she is able to sink this yellow. Just needs that white to slow up. Perfect.
Yeah, Emma definitely has quite a long, deliberated pause on her backswing, it looks as if.
Yeah, if you get taught out of the textbook, the snooker textbook,
Okay.
it tells you that the pausing at the back is the ideal way to time the ball.
Is that now textbook How I Play Snooker by Joe Davis?
I've never read the book because I don't do it. But obviously when you pull the cue back, it allows your eyes to transfer from the cue ball to the object ball, which means that you can then time the shot better. Your eyes are looking in the right place.
Okay.
Which may sound strange if you never play, but if you play a shot and your eyes are looking at the wrong thing when you hit the ball, it's a very strange feeling.
Sure. Mary didn't want that cannon into that pink. This brown is Emma's frame ball. It's always the tough thing about this game is if you just roll that shot, it's going to rattle in the jaws and just sit there. But if you hit it hard, if it's off by a millimeter, it's going to shoot out.
Yeah, I think especially on these tables where you are hitting the ball a lot softer because the cloth does the work for you. You do find that you are leaving a lot more balls over the pockets than usual. I just see whether Mary's gonna pot this blue and try and play for the snookers on the pink, or keep this blue on the table.
Ooh. She'll
Yeah,
concede that
that's a
frame.
frame.
So Emma Parker takes this first frame over Mary Talbot, but we're not going to go to commercial break. We're going to switch over to table 2, where we have Marissa Dew, who's the youngest competitor in the tournament at age 13, taking on Oregon's Stephanie Drakulik. So Marissa's up 38-31, as we can see, and there's 43 left on the table. Obviously, when frame 2 starts with Emma and Mary, we'll head back there, but a little bit of bonus coverage for all of you out there on the stream. We hope you're enjoying it. Feel free to let us know where you're tuning in from. If you have any questions or comments, we'd love to hear from you. We've got a great player in the booth with me. David Burney's here, and Jamie Hunter is here, so she can field any questions, as she's well-knowledged in this game.
You're saying all these nice things about me, but
I do not lie. You are just a fantastic player. Very, I enjoy just chatting with you outside of the broadcast booth. You're a very nice person to be around, so I appreciate getting to know you. Maybe it's because your mom's listening.
yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, and this is another actually A group match with Marissa and Stephanie, and they're both 1 and 2. So this could be a big match here. Obviously, one of them will be in 3rd place, and we'll just have to, because with how the tournament is structured with 15 players, there were 3 groups of 5, and the top 2 players move on to the knockout round, and then the 2 top 3rd place will move on. So very important here for both of these players, as they've probably looked at the score sheet before this match and known that Emma and Mary are playing each other. Both of those will move on. So a real battle here.
Well, thank you very much, Leah. It's lovely to hear from you, and hopefully, we see you at the at Scotland in October.
Have you been to Scotland, Jamie?
Yeah, a few times.
Fantastic.
Really love it there.
I've been up there too. I've enjoyed my stay, and so.
Some of the greatest architecture that I think the UK has got to offer.
Okay.
Yeah, I find that a lot of Americans go to Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a reason for that?
Well,
Is that a whiskey?
well, being Canadian.
Damn, I knew that.
No worries.
Can I rewind and put North before American so I can get away with it?
No, it's all right. I'm not sure. A lot of Americans flock to Scotland. A lot of them are, keen on the Scotch, as Scotland is, whatever is produced there is Scotch, and they say anywhere else in the world it's whiskey.
Yeah, true. I mean, even when we're over here, we've met quite a lot of Scottish Americans, Irish Americans, but you never meet any English Americans.
Well, they say it's the greatest country in the world. Why would they leave England, right?
Well, exactly. We're not very patriotic at home, though. America is definitely a very patriotic country. They're very proud of their roots.
They are, yes. I think every country out there does have pride and honor with their country. Just some are probably a bit louder than others, I think.
Yeah, true. Oh, we have the Queen, which is like a beacon.
That's true. There's a nice shot of the entire room there here at Ox. 4 beautiful star tables. Mike Dominguez and his crew really has spared no expense here. Everything is top notch. We're obviously hearing from Jamie Hunter in the booth here that she's enjoyed it quite well.
Yeah, some of the best conditions we've ever played at. Or me personally, in my 12 months.
Sure. I think Mike is breaking out his wallet again. You know, you're making some good money over here, praising him so well.
Trying to get sponsorship.
Ah, there we are. I knew there was a plan. Those sly English, they always have something in their back pocket. But good to hear Christian Youngers is turning in. Christian, we're missing you up here. Christian's a tech whiz when it comes to all these streaming events that we have. We wish him the best. Hopefully we can see him again soon.
Hi, Jake. Thanks for getting in touch. So on the actual tour, the girls, the staff, all the clubs that we've go to, everyone has been unbelievably welcoming. We are like a family. I've never felt more at home away from home than on the tour. But there is people out there, who post things on social media or, say things that aren't very nice. But, they're not attached to the tour or the snooker family. They're just people out there who just disagree with certain things. But other than that, on the actual tour, it's been, one of the greatest experiences I've ever done. And I'm so grateful that I made the decision to join the tour 12 months ago. And, the places I've seen, the people that I've met, it's been, memories that I'll keep forever, some of the best.
And I'm, not stepping over any lines here, Jamie, as that question was dealing with some issues of transphobia on the tour. And I personally feel if there's people coming at you for that, they've got something wrong with their life. They need to check themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, I've always been open about my story because I'd rather it come from me than, some tabloid magazine or someone else. But, there is people out there who don't agree with it. Whether, people are allowed to have their opinion, it doesn't really affect me. I get bothered by it in a sense that if there's other people like me out there, they might not have skin as thick as mine, so it may affect them. I think that's what I worry about more.
Yeah.
I want other transgender people in the world to see me, see what I'm doing, see the things that I can accomplish, and and they can. I just want them to see me and see what I'm doing and know that they can chase their dreams, they can live the lives that they want to live. They don't have to hide away because of who they are. They should embrace it. They should celebrate it. And nothing should stand in the way of doing the things that they've always enjoyed to do.
Excellently put. Fantastic.
I wrote a post yesterday that I was thinking about sharing. That I've just won the Billiards World Championship, which made me #1 ranked player in the world as well. And that's my greatest snooker Q Sports achievement. But I received a message from a trans girl in Poland who said that she's now going to join the tour after watching me because it's gave her the courage and the confidence to go out in the world and play snooker because she thought she wouldn't be accepted because it's a male sport. And that is my greatest achievement. inspiring her to do the things that she wants to do. You know, I can have cupboards full of trophies, but knowing that I've improved another human being's life is just so much better.
That's beautiful, Jamie. Wow. Like, fantastically spoken.
Get your tissues out.
I'm getting a little watery eyed there. That's just fantastic. Yeah.
Roy, we don't know I couldn't possibly tell you the reason as to why Rianne isn't here, because I haven't specifically asked her myself. But I do know that the Northern Ireland qualifiers are currently occurring in England at the moment. So I believe she will be competing in that, which may have been a conflict of schedules.
I think, yeah, there was a bit of conflict schedules with those Northern Ireland qualifiers because obviously Rihanna is on the Pro Tour as well, and it's a distance to travel as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, Bex has come, but her game was scheduled for Wednesday, so I think she was able to get here just in time.
Exactly. I think, yeah, she did her qualifier, then pretty much was on a plane just as the match concluded and was coming over here to America. So.
Yeah, we were out being tourists, and then I come in the snooker club to say hi, to see what it was like, and she was already in here. I think she got straight off the plane.
Thanks, Christian, for the nice words about the stream. He's liking how it's looking, and he's liking how we're sounding. He's done a lot of great work, Christian has, to get this going, and Mike has done a great job carrying on the torch with the stream. So, Jamie, looks like Aidanus 12. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing your handle, as we get a lot of different handles out there. But they're proud of what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you for your kind words. I'm just a human being who likes playing snooker.
It comes down to it, yeah. We're all human beings just trying to make it through this crazy thing called life.
Yes.
And if we're doing things that we love, all the power to us, right?
Just gotta do things that put a smile on your face. You see in the news and all the other things that are going on in the world. It can put a big downer on what's going on. So you just gotta smile as much as you can and do the things that you love. Be with the people that you love.
True. Yeah. When I kind of see the news, I kind of turn over and turn on the snooker.
Yeah, put the snooker on. Yeah. Better idea.
Chuck, we're glad you're tuning in from Detroit, Michigan. Glad you're here loving the snooker. Hopefully you're a big Tigers fan. Great baseball team out of there, Detroit. If you want to talk about some interesting architecture, if you've ever been to Detroit, Jamie, it's
no, I've not been that far north.
Okay, it's obviously they've had tough times, obviously, because the auto industry was very prevalent there, but then it all of a sudden went away. But it's interesting, all the architecture there that has been abandoned, like the great Packard plant. It's completely desolate now, where it used to have a sprawling scene with all the car manufacturing. So
hopefully they have a snooker event there that gives me an excuse to go.
Are you still listening, USSA? Jamie wants to get to Detroit.
It seems that neither of the two of them have really settled so far into this game.
True, yeah, like that. Just not. Maybe they are realizing that they're friends, and it's just tough. They don't want to beat each other, but as you said, it's just got to be a blank face. That opponent is just an opponent.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be any love going on in this frame. Definitely not. I think it's just the importance of it. Whoever wins gets number one, whoever loses gets number two. It changes the way, the tomorrow afternoon's going to start for you. So I think that just feeling the pressure a little bit on the importance of this match.
Mm-hmm. Well, Jamie, our friend Aidanus 12. I might just call you number, or A12 maybe. I hope I'm not butchering your handle. I apologize. But Jamie, they're wondering what's the big difference between billiards and snooker besides the number of balls on the table?
I would say that billiards is more interesting. I don't know if that's just because I've only just recently started playing it properly or like often. But there's a larger margin for error. Being able to play cannons, that classes as a scoring shot, so you can play a pot or an in-off at the same and play a cannon at the same time. So if you do end up missing the original shot you was going for, you've got like a backup plan. Where in snooker you can't try and pot a ball and think, oh, I could like try and pot another ball at the same time. You don't really get the option to.
So did you get into snooker first and then billiards? Or
Snooker first.
Snooker first, okay.
I joined the local billiard league, just to help them out if they didn't have enough players. And then I seen a women's tournament in Norwich, I think it was. And I looked at the players who had entered and who won and what the scores were, and I thought I could have a really good chance at getting some good results in this. So off we went to Leeds, and the rest is history.
I know obviously in America they're used to the 8-ball and 9-ball, the pool game and stuff like that, so snooker is definitely a head twister for them, but the game of billiards really makes them wonder, that's for sure.
We were staying in an Airbnb, and we're trying to explain it to the host of how it works, and they were looking at us like we just decided to teach them rocket science.
This is just a update over there. Marissa did take that first frame over Stephanie, so she leads 1-0. They're in their second frame, and they're kind of just getting things going. Here in frame 2, you have Emma Parker up 14-12 over Mary Tybalt. Raynan Singh, thanks for the nice comments. It's really enjoying the live stream. Definitely, if you are in the Seattle area, come on down and join us at Ox Billiards. It's in the Capitol Hill District, just on Broadway, just off Pike Street. And admission is free, and the drinks are cool. How can you go wrong?
As long as there's air conditioning. It's something we don't have in England, so we make the most of it when it gets offered to us.
You don't have air conditioning or cold drinks?
Air conditioning.
Okay.
It's always cold. Every drink is cold in England.
I don't know. I've had a few cups of tea in England. It's been pretty warm. Am I doing it wrong?
Don't mock our cups of tea. It's the very essence of our being.
It's true. It is amazing.
I can't believe that Americans don't have electric kettles.
Some of us do.
But it's not like a regularity.
Yes, that's
like
true.
If you go in a hotel in England, there is a kettle in every room.
Mm-hmm. True.
We're over here. We're like, oh no, how do we make a cup of tea?
Then they're really looking at you funny.
Oh yeah, it's our biggest problem. Going abroad. How do we make a cup of tea? Oh, hi Jake again. So yeah, Emma did. I do remember Emma saying that yesterday. Obviously, times are changing. Gentlemen clubs aren't gentlemen clubs anymore. They're just social clubs, and it is still a very male-dominated sport. But this tour and like World Snooker, we're trying to make it more accessible to girls. But you've got I think you've got to see it to believe it. You know, if a girl puts snooker on the telly and she doesn't see a girl playing, she's never going to think, oh, that could be me. So hopefully with, you know, what the Lionesses have just done in the European Soccer Championships, that should really start spurring on, especially in the UK, the inclusion of females in sports. That should hopefully really start to give younger girls more opportunities, and also just the belief that they can do and be anything that they want to be.
Yep, I think Bob Dylan said it best. The times, they are changing.
Absolutely.
And I think you said it quite right. If you can see it there, you know, this is great for, you know, women in general, and this is great for the game of snooker in North America as well, having this tournament on this weekend. It's just, I think there's going to be a few young girls and even young boys that are probably tuning in and being like, I want to do that. Like, I didn't know what snooker was for a long time. And then when I was a young boy, I remember just on a flash broadcast in Canada, they showed this guy called Stephen Hendry. And I was just like, wow, this is a fantastic sport. It's so interesting, the different colors and the strategy and stuff like that. So once you see it, as opposed to just hearing about it, because my friends, I say I'm going to commentate on a snooker tournament, they're like, oh, is that a dirty party trick, or what are you been up to, Dave? So
yeah, I think it, like when you're in primary school or elementary school, and they always say to you, what do you want to be when you grow up? You know, people pick football players, astronauts, like scientists, doctors, because they've seen it in real life.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen a football player on the telly, you've seen an astronaut, you know. So to girls to then go, oh, I'm going to be a snooker player, they need to have seen it, they need to have been exposed to it growing up.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So obviously that's just something that's just going to take time, and you know, even in my 12 months since joining the tour, the participation levels, you know, the amount of people reaching out to me, to the other girls, it's been fantastic. The growth is great. Obviously we want it to be more, but you know, we're just doing everything that we can, and we just got to see whether the next generation want to be part of history.
Yeah, it's always someone that, you know, fights the battles and has to take some of that nastiness to kick the door open for the future generations.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like I was saying before, you know, if me sharing my story and my transition, you know, even just makes it better for one person, two people, you know,
Mission accomplished.
absolutely. You can tell that both of these really want to win this
She does.
frame. You know, the black tied ups are not leaving any easy chances. They're not really taking on any balls that are less than 8 or 9 out of 10. I say that, and then Emma chucks a wild one in there.
That was a gutsy shot, that's for sure. Yeah, just for the knockout round, there is a big difference if you're first or second in your group.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Absolutely.
The loser might have to play you tomorrow.
Oh, it really is an important game. I think Emma's a very attacking player as well. So, you know, the more it keeps getting scrappy, the balls get stuck together, she's going to get a bit more antsy. She's going to want to get them opened up, which I think is why when she got left that shot there, which is, I think, the first look at a pot that she's had for a while, and she's just going straight for it. She's a bit unlucky there to not be able to sneak that red in. Looks like Mary's going to play the exact same shot.
I think so.
That's an excellent shot. I thought we were about to go into the Matrix then, if that's that over the pocket.
That's why I like you, Jamie. The movie references, well done.
I just have too much time on my hands. Yeah, so I think so. What she wants to do is get on the red that's on the black spot to then play straight up for the black to be able to get that back on its spot, which then should make the break building a little bit easier. But it just depends on what angle she's got on the blow. Lovely shot.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen some fabulous rest play this weekend, I must admit.
Oh, the match I was doing last night when Bex was playing, I think she was 98% with the rest. We don't have the stats tracker here, but it just seemed like anytime she picked up the rest, the ball was going into the bottom of the pocket.
And I think if you asked any snooker player, they would always say that the rest play is the weakest part of their game.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why a lot of people learn how to play two-handed.
That is true.
Damien.
But I tried it. I look like a spider with rollerblades on. Yeah, so even though Murray holds only a slender, like 20-point advantage, with the way the frame has gone, that's quite a big lead with how scrappy it's been so far.
And just how these reds are, they're not wonderful, that's for sure. And yeah, our friends at the USSA liked your Matrix reference, that they said that Keanu Reeves actually was down at the Arizona Snooker Academy earlier this year, and I believe Keanu was just so excited to be down there because it reminded him of, he played a lot of snooker when he was a youngster in Toronto, Canada. So
We don't get any exciting people like that coming over to snooker clubs in Liverpool.
However, actually, I was walking home last night after our day was done and ran into a couple of gentlemen, and they were like, "What are you all dressed up about?" I told them I was commentating on a snooker event, and they were just, "Really? Where's that happening?" I'm like, "Oh, down at Oxbow." He's like, "Oh, yeah?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's the Women's U.S. Open." They're like, "Wow." So they were really excited. I was quite surprised because snooker is not that big in America.
No, people have been asking me why I'm in Seattle, and I've been telling them snooker, and they just look at me funny. That was another fantastic long pot from Murray there. So, she's just picking the balls off. She's not doing anything overzealous, anything fabulous, over the top. She's just taking the reds off one by one, making the mountain even bigger to climb for Emma.
We are. That's the scene at Ox Billiards here in Seattle, Washington, USA. We're at the World Women's Snooker US Open. The first and hopefully of many. Hopefully we can see you gals again over here.
I'd love to come back.
Very nice shot there. Equally appreciated by Mary with a little tap on the table.
Oh, hi Andrew, welcome to the stream. I actually practice in Scala Snooker Centre in St Helens. I have my own star table in there. But you know, Scotty's is probably the biggest, you know, snooker venue up in Merseyside. And you know, I've heard very, very good things about Neil Johnson. I've never been coached by him myself, but you know, a lot of people say very good things about him.
Now Emma might be able to get through there. Is there a path for that red into the green pocket? No, but I guess she was. Snooker there. Very nice shot there by Emma.
You know, I think Murray would want to come from behind this red to stun the white in behind it and take the red up to ball, but she's just got to be careful of hitting the pink too full. Oh, she could see more of it than I thought.
I didn't mind your actually cushion first. You're saying that, you know, you always have to keep the creative mind going in this sport.
Yeah, I think, you know, if you present a shot to 4 to 5 different players, they'll probably all come up with different ways to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Emma's very unfortunate there for that to sit over the pocket.
You know, as the yellow ball come to her rescue? That's a question. Here's having a good long look at it.
Well, thanks, Andrew. Maybe you know, we could have a couple of frames back home. The fact that she's been looking at this for a while makes me think that she's snookered on this or can't see the potting angle.
I think she's a little unfortunate there. The green or brown hasn't come to the rescue.
No, I think she left it.
Maybe a trace of swerve just to get the angle.
I think that'd go
Just
through playing ball, yeah.
Playing ball.
Just about, yeah.
You know, when you're down at the table, you have the best angle at the shot. It's a little different in the booth for us.
Yeah, you see us as well. We'll be like closing one eye and then closing the other eye. Keep checking it. But the balls look like they're in very nice positions here for Emma to get the counter clearance. She's just lost the white ever so slightly there. You know, but she could recover it, but dropping this yellow in, dead weight, always bears the risk of it not actually getting there or leaving it over the pocket.
Yeah, it's interesting hearing the Bex kind of talk a little bit. You know, a lot of people see that and they might want to jack up a little bit just to get the action on the cue ball. And she's like, got to get rid of that because it gives so much risk for error. If you
Yeah, I think you lift the butt of the cue up in the air. You can't see, really. You can't really tell what you're doing. You turn what you shot to like a blind pocket because you're too busy looking down at the table rather than where the ball's going. So you just always want to be in control as much as possible.
Definitely looks promising for Mary to force a decider.
She knew the importance of that ball. Bit
True.
of tension in the arm. Can always sneak up on you.
Yeah, 18 in it and 22 on the table.
Yeah, she's lucky that the brown's gone over towards the side cushion, which she's not left an easy chance for Emma to start with. I think if Emma was 18 points up in this frame, then she'd be taking this brown on down the rail. But because she's behind, I think she needs to wait for a better opportunity rather than trying to make one.
She's putting Mary back in.
Looks as if Mary's going for it.
That is the old adjective. You know, when you're at the table, you're in control. You know, you can either take the pot on or play a fiendish snooker. So
looks as if she's got a second prize there. Snooker behind the back.
a little shake of the head. She's not really enjoying what she's got here. She might be able to get by the black. Maybe.
I think Mary will be trying to cut this into the left middle. It looks as if she might actually be playing a safety. Oh, there we go. That leaves Emma needing one snooker.
One snooker to tie to force a black ball respawn. My correction there. Actually, I forgot that if there is a fouled snooker there, that it will be 5 points. So Emma can win with 1 5-point snooker.
But it looks as if she's going to have to pot the blue here, which then obviously makes it harder for her to lay the snooker now with only one ball left on the table. As well as the pink. Nearly made myself look stupid.
I think that's impossible, Jamie.
Wait till you see me at karaoke and then you definitely won't be questioning that. So if Mary wants to go for the pot for this or roll the pink over the pocket, but it is actually close to the in off.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is why that she's just completely changed her shot choice. You know, with Emma only needing one snooker, you just don't want to take any risks at all.
Yeah. Nice shot there by Mary. Good hit, but it's out there. It's there for Mary's taking.
Chance to take this frame, no. Put it to bed.
Just kind of hit that a bit too hard. Kind of just wanted to sit in the jaws, right?
Yeah. I think I remember Beck saying yesterday that, you know, once you've won the frame, you can let your arm go a little bit. You feel like you can kind of relax.
Mm-hmm.
But in this frame here, you know, you can see even though Mary's mathematically got this frame, so you know, playing someone about Emma's caliber, you know, it's not over till there's not enough balls left on the table that says it's over. So it looks as if Mary's a bit wary of that.
There's that snooker that Emma needed. Pink is out there. That's definitely a potential cut into the top right corner pocket.
I think Emma's going to be taking this on. Another shot. You know, Emma's just, she's earned herself the right to be able to win this frame by getting that snooker.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to then lose the frame by playing a poor safety. You'd rather go out trying to pot the balls to win.
True.
Take another good shot here, though. She's gotten away with it.
True. It's a thin cut, but that's a lot of real estate to cover with your cue ball.
I think when you get in a black ball fight, if you get shown a half a chance, you've always got to take them.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, you could end up being in a safety battle for 20, 25 minutes, and then it's not even you that gets the chance at a pot, it's your opponent. So, as I said, you'd rather go out swinging, going for them, than, you know, playing a poor safety shot. A chance again for Murray now.
Yeah, it gets very nervy when it's just a black ball on, that's for sure.
You know, especially when this is to keep you in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that you were mathematically safe and you've given up the snookers, you know. There's just that added bit of pressure, but looks like a mistake there from Murray's going to leave the black for Emma to take this 2-0.
Oh, round of applause from the audience there. Emma nips that frame to take the match 2-0. And she is the front runner in her group, Group A. But Mary as well be moving on to the knockout round as well. But we'll find out a little bit later who will join them. And we'll just step aside for a quick commercial break, and we might come back for some bonus coverage of Stephanie Drakulik and Marissa Dew. Hello and welcome back, everybody. A little bit of bonus coverage here with Marissa Dew and Stephanie Drakulik. David Burney in the booth here. We got to bid a little farewell to Jamie, as I think they might have been going to maybe get a little quick bite to eat, something like that. But we really appreciate her stepping into the booth, giving some great commentary, and as well sharing her wonderful story. It really true is an inspiring story, and great to see her on the tour and all that she is doing. So, but we got a nail biter here in the second frame, 34-34. Very important here. If Marissa can take this one, she wins by 2-0, and that really might put her into that elusive special third place. As I mentioned before, we have 3 groups with 5 players in each group. The top 2 will be moving on, and then we have 2 third place kind of wild card, I guess, spots, but whoever are the 2 top third place players will move on to the knockout rounds. But as well, we also in this tournament with the bottom 8, well, we'll be bottom 7 because we had 15 players. There is going to be a little bit of a challenge cup, so something for the bottom half. The ones that don't make it to the knockout round can still have a chance of winning a little bit of money. I believe after coming around 5 o'clock, we will have Bex Kenna against Francis Cho as the last match for them, or I believe it will be Jocelyn. Bex Kenna against Jocelyn Liu. They're both on the top. Bex has won all of her frames, and Jocelyn has won 5 frames and 2 frames. So, but Jocelyn has 2 matches won, and Bex has 3. So it could get a little interesting if Jocelyn's able to take that one, but that's just a little bit later. All right, now Marissa has made a great green ball. Well, this pink is in a tough position. I think it's probably going to come down to that with only 1 point in it and 22 on the table. If you have any questions or comments out there on the stream, we have Mike Dominguez joining us, the man that runs Ox Billiards. So feel free to ask any questions of what does it take to open up a snooker club in Seattle.
Yeah, go ahead and ask away.
I just did.
This is a really good match. But Emma's match with Mary was also very nice. That's the one that we wanted to show, the good friends. But this match here is a rematch of the Seattle Snooker Open. In that tournament, Marissa did prevail. It was a close match. So this is a grudge match, a revenge match for Stephanie. And it sure is panning out like that. This is a close game, or I should say frame.
Yeah, Marissa's had an interesting demeanor. She's so relaxed. It doesn't even seem like she's 13 years old. She's just cool as a cucumber, a seasoned vet.
We say she's fearless. Just about everybody that you meet that knows her agrees that she's just fearless. She just goes up, plays her shot, and then whether she makes it or misses, she goes back and just it's kind of the same sort of demeanor as you say. But she did nick a frame or a rack off of Judd Trump when he came to visit. They played 2 racks of 9-ball. She won 1, and he won 1, and he requested to go for a decider. And he did beat her in that one, that final decider, but she was the only one that was not nervous that whole day. I saw people playing Judd that were good players miscuing. It was incredible what nerves can do to you, but she was steady.
Ice in those veins she has. Thanks for tuning in, Dr. Snooker. Thank you. I'm glad that you're enjoying the stream.
Thanks for the shout out, United States Snooker Association. You guys are a big supporter of this event. Without your support, it wouldn't happen. And we are so looking forward to the national championships next weekend. It'll be great to have a bunch of really good players here. We hope they feel at home. We hope they enjoy the facilities. And we're looking for a great competition.
Yes, Ahmad Ali, first U.S. player ever to play at the Crucible Theater. And this is... Ooh.
Is it covered? It looks... Yeah, that's not covered.
But it's very long. As well, a great player from the Chicago area, Renat Denka, and a giant field. I believe definitely USSA. You can let us know how many entrances you have. I believe I heard there's upwards of...
I think at last count it was 36.
36.
But I don't know if it's increased or decreased.
Yeah, that's always tough when you've got all that bays to deal with. And don't think the blue has come to the rescue for Stephanie.
You know, on these tables, distance is a defensive play. And it doesn't help when you only see half the ball.
That's true. Well, there's going to be 38 players in the U.S. national tournament next week.
Goodness
That's
gracious.
great to see.
I'm going to have to beat all 38. Is that what you're saying?
37, don't you count as one?
Oh, that's true. I have to beat myself. I hope I don't beat myself first.
Is that a new thing in the U.S. tournaments, that
Play
you
the
beat all the
ghost.
players and then you have to beat yourself to actually win the championship?
I'll be lucky to make it out of my group. To be fair.
Of yourself?
Of myself, including myself. I think I'll probably nick a frame off myself. But, yeah, I'm in a JS group, so it's going to be a tough slog.
Are the groups posted up online?
That I don't know. I've been very preoccupied with this tournament here, so I'm not too aware of maybe the USSA can answer where the brackets might be stored online, if they are. Someone told me, Dave Daly told me I was in a JS group. Dave's all up on this. He's the floating ref right now, so he wouldn't be able to answer the question, but he is working hard on his feet all day yesterday. He's on his feet today right now. He's helping out Jamie's match. Jamie versus Mary. No, Catherine. He's the one that's spotting all the balls for snookers. And it looks like they're waiting for him here. So I might... Nope. Dave's finished on one table, and now Dave's moving to this table to help him out.
Well, cloudsnooker.com is where you can find the list of all the players involved in the U.S. national tournament. They say they need 2 more players. Can we get some Canucks in, maybe?
You know, Frances Sau wanted to play, so if you can pencil her in, she's in the room, and I will ask her. Frances is playing Bex next, but I know she was disappointed to miss the entry. That was a great hit. So give me a moment.
Nice try there. Hasn't left an easy one, that's for sure. And still, that pink isn't going anywhere. That's going to be quite a crucial ball, that's for sure. As either player is going to need it to win the frame. Yes, very tricky there. So Stephanie was not electing to take the pot on, rather to play safe, but it's a little tough. She's left this brown out. Or saving graces. She does have a cue ball on tight on the cushion. Ooh, a little overcut there. Just left that on there for Stephanie. She's going to have to go all the way around the houses here. Looks like probably 3 cushions. Ooh. It's a bit nervy there. A new trophy will be played for the national championship. The Tom Collins Trophy, which is on its way to Seattle. Tom Collins, a stand-up chap. Had the chance to meet him once at a tournament in the Toronto area in Canada. And Tom is just loved the snooker, and we'll definitely will miss him. But that's good to hear. Mike David Brock has done some research and found out some players in your group, but I'm pretty sure when you have a moment, but I'm pretty sure you're very busy this weekend. You'll soon check out where you are going to find yourself in the U.S. Nationals.
I don't care who I play. Line them up. Let's go.
That's the spirit. There you go.
No. So the good news is Frances is willing to play, so please save a spot, one of those last 2 spots for her. All right. Thank you, David. Ajaya, Tinger, Yanni, Devin. I apologize for any mispronunciations.
Ooh, they're really tough. You're in a big group. That might be considered the group of death, maybe. It's a nice cue ball there for Stephanie. Marissa definitely is fearless. She's just going for everything, it seems like sometimes. Okay, everybody, we are going to have a very exciting match coming up very soon between Bex Kenna and Jocelyn Liu. They're going to be coming up on table 1. So we're just going to let this stream go because I just need to actually step aside for a short little comfort break before we get into this marquee matchup. So we'll let you enjoy a little bit of this Marissa and Stephanie match, but then very soon we'll be going over to Bex and Jocelyn. just going to step away from this Marissa and Stephanie match. I'll let you know how it goes, but we're just going to step aside a quick commercial break because we're going to come back for a great match tonight between Bex Kenna and Justin Leloup. Stand by. And welcome back, everybody. David Burney in the booth with you for this exciting match tonight. Bex Kenna, who's looking very impressive, won all her matches. But Jocelyn has won 2 as well. They're both 1 and 2 respectively in their Group B. So if Jocelyn can take this one over Bex, it's going to make it quite interesting. Just looking at the stats here, I think even though if Jocelyn is defeated in this one, she should be okay to be moving on to the knockout round. Ashley, thanks for tuning in. Great that you enjoyed and seeing the great live snooker action here. We are making history this weekend as this is the World Women's Snooker U.S. Open, the first ever snooker ranking event in the United States of America. Very impressive. Very happy to be here. We're all happy that you're tuning in. If you have any questions or comments on the stream, feel free to reach out to us. Jocelyn's going to call up Doc Brown and get the DeLorean. She wanted to go back in time on that. That's not a great shot to leave Bex. Bex is full of lots of skill here. So the stream tomorrow starts at 3 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, Dr. Snooker. There will be some matches before there, but we have some broadcasting issues that we will be starting the stream a little later in the day. But if you are in the Seattle area, come and visit us at Ox, as the admission is free and the drinks are cool. Yes, Ashley, that's a beautiful dream to think there will be more snooker in the U.S. I think Mike and his team are just doing a great job. That's what we need, just exposure. You know, people can actually see what this game of snooker is, because really you don't see a lot of snooker tables, say, in a bar or a pub or something like that. You always see the pool table and someone playing 8-ball or 9-ball, but snooker's a little special thing. You don't see it every day down here in America and as well in North America. You might see it a bit more in Canada, as Canada does have quite a rich history going back. They've kind of faltered a little bit over the years, as they haven't had a professional player on the Pro Tour for many years, but they did have the 1980 world champion Cliff Thorburn over there, and Kirk Stevens, and Bill Werbenick, Jim White, Alain Robidoux, Brady Golan. So there's even some more over there. Bob Chaperone, the UK champion of 1990. So hopefully, with this exposure of this event, will inspire boys and girls of all ages, and men and women, to pick up a cue and try this great game of snooker. And I know Mike Dominguez has made a strong and conscious decision that he'd like to see the US of A over there on the Pro Tour. It definitely helps with Ahmad Ali, who will be playing in next week's US Nationals. He made his Crucible debut this past spring at the World Seniors Snooker Championship. The first American player ever to play at the Crucible.
Yeah, congrats to Ahmed Ali on that accomplishment. Been decades in the making for him. He's been a good, solid U.S. player for some time now, managing the room over at the New York Athletic Club. It'd be good to see him in here.
Yeah, I think I saw Ahmed at a Richler Cup many moons ago, maybe 2017 in Burlington, Ontario, Canada. His pockets are really tight, even tough for Bex. As that red rattled in the jaw, she was very impressive with her rest last night. Quick little update on that Marissa Dew and Stephanie Drakulik match. It's 47-41 for Stephanie, and only the black is left on the table. So when the result comes through there, I'll be sure to let you know. Once again, Jocelyn is... I think that red does go by. The one by the black should go into the top left corner pocket.
Would have done well to miss the black on the way up, but she's got the blue sitting there. Maybe that was the plan all along. Have the black ball as a backstop for the blue.
Yeah, maybe just an insurance thing there. You know, if she's flicked off the black or just didn't hit that black as solid, she would have been on the black. But the blue is a saving grace here. That's a little uncharacteristic of Bex. She did play early today in one of the first matches of the day, and now she's playing in the latter part of the day. So maybe you just got to shake off a few of the cobwebs. Maybe she did a little bit of sightseeing this afternoon.
So the women's tour is actually a pathway to the pro tour. It does have amateur players as well as professional players, but as a way to get on the tour, it serves its purpose. It's a really nice advantage to the World Women's Snooker Tour. There are several pathways to the Pro Tour, and this is one of them. This is why I like this tour in Seattle and in America. We have quite a few women players who can cue the ball really well.
A little spattering of applause over there. You might have heard through the airways. Stephanie Drakulik nailed a long black to tie that match, one frame apiece.
Almost on cue, talking about the women players in the Seattle, Pacific Northwest area, and Stephanie drains a long putt.
I think it's nice to see as well that we did get some of the English players come over, Laura, as some of the American players, and we do have a player from Canada. The game of snooker is not so familiar with them, and there's a lot of intrinicities. Have to work on that one. That's a tough word.
How do you spell that?
Yeah, how do you spell it? How do you say it? Who knows? But as you'll see sometimes over the course of this weekend, you'll see a little bit more of the etiquette from the British players. They know, when a player's made a great shot, you'll see a little tap on the table, and that's a great teaching aid for our American and Canadian players that aren't as familiar with the game of snooker, as well as concessions. There's a point where just a frame is just out of reach, and some players new players would kind of just play on because they know, well, you got to play until all the balls are gone. But the more etiquette-wise idea is once the frame is fully out of reach, it's pack up and let's go for another time in a new frame.
Yeah, it just speaks to the education process. Here at Ox, we don't have a cost barrier between a pool table and a snooker table. We give lessons, and in those lessons, we do talk about etiquette. We do talk about the normalities of the game and the tradition. And there are differences, as you said, wanting to play to the last ball, not wanting to concede.
But there's many wonderful videos out there. If you are interested in getting in the game of snooker, YouTube has a bunch of just, the basic rules. Obviously, if you're new.
Snooker Canada actually has a nice video on the rules.
They do? Yeah. Some people, might be newcomers to this game and be like, well, they're hitting a red and then they hit a color. But the red didn't come up, but the other color did come up. So there's a lot of interesting rules in the game. As we say to our newcomers, the object is obviously hit a red, then you have to hit a color, and then that color will come up, then you're on another red, followed by color, back and forth until all the reds are down, and then there's a sequence where the colors will go down that you have to pot if you're in that situation where it's close. As many of these matches are, you'll notice, I think, over the course of this weekend that a lot come down to the colored balls.
Yeah, Donald. In the round robin, we don't have as many refs as we would like. So we do have floating refs. Dave Daly is doing a great job being a floating ref for snookers and whatnot. But for the most part, the opponent will spot the color balls. And sometimes the player will spot them themselves. So there is a bit of a standard gap here in America in terms of educating referees and educating coaches, and that's something that Ox is committed to doing, as well as Snooker Canada. I took a class up in Richmond, BC at Jonathan Sun's Top 147 Club with Michaela Tab on being certified to be a ref. But as you can hear, I'm in the booth instead of on the table reffing. But for the knockout round, we will have, that was a great shot. We will have a dedicated ref for those matches.
Yeah, it definitely, for all these events, it takes an army to make them all go off smoothly. And we're always looking for people to enlist. So, Donald, if you like this game, feel free to reach out if you're in America or Canada or anywhere, actually. The game of snooker is always looking for people to help out. And that explanation was given by Mike Dominguez of how he came into the game and learning all the rules. And myself, I'm David Burney.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Donald. There is a floating ref, so when somebody is snookered, they call him over, and he takes it from there. And once the players have gotten out of the snooker situation, more than likely another table is calling his attention.
Yeah, and he's also mentioning about the foul and the miss. In this tournament, there is a maximum of 2 putbacks, so that's 3 attempts. And obviously on the third attempt, it has to be a worthwhile attempt. You can't just roll up to a shot. And as well, they do call over our roving referee, Dave Daly, just to take a look, just make sure where the cue ball is, so if it is respottable. And as well, he is there to judge, in his opinion, if it is a miss. Because up in Canada, sometimes we don't have roving referees as well. So there isn't that judgment call. It kind of leads into the line of the opponent to make the call, but most often they are put back. And, well, the game is called snooker, so you should be able to be rewarded handsomely if you do lay a beautiful snooker. So, and as well, another thing that we do is with no referees, we do put a coin by the cue ball. So it makes for a good respot. But remember, if a ball's coming towards that cue, it's the player's responsibility to pick up that cue or they'll be penalized. So.
The total prize money for this tournament is $6,000.
Yeah, I believe I know the high break prize is $100, $100 US, and I believe the winner of this tournament walks away with $1,200. But more importantly, their name is going to be in history books for the first ever World Women's Snooker U.S. Open champion.
Yeah, we definitely call these humble beginnings. Not so humble. 6,000 is nothing to sneeze at for the first ever women's tournament here in America. So next year, we want to raise that bar. And the following year, we want to raise that bar. And we need your help and support to do that. Join us in this journey. Come along with us.
So one thing that Barry Hearn, the great promoter from England that really did wonders for the game of snooker over in England, don't get complacent. You always got to keep fighting, just up the game. As I know that's your mantra, Mike. You're always looking for changing things, how to get things better, and all that.
Yeah, I'm no Barry Hearn, but I believe that we can always improve. And with the team we have here at Ox, I have no doubt that we can always improve. And that takes a lot of humility, a little bit of intelligence, and a lot of support.
And Donal, some of the higher ranked female players are actually, who are on the Pro Tour, are playing in the Northern Ireland qualifiers right now. So it just actually really timed out that Bex was able to make it over here, as her qualifier match was early, and I think she was unfortunately unsuccessful over there. She is also sponsored by Ox, and so she made the trip, but it is also a long trip to come over. As we just explained, a little bit of the prize money, it's not all the riches in the world. As you know, people got to support and you got to come over, so it's possible maybe some of them, we're just seeing that it is quite a lengthy way to go. I know the women will be having an Australian Open. I don't know how many players are going to be going over there. So it just comes down to sometimes, just the dollars and cents and being able to make it worth, as still, an amateur game and on the women's side, and they all have other jobs as well.
Yeah, and just to speak on E and Mink, it was a timing issue, really. We announced the dates for this tournament a little late. There was a lot of planning involved, so the visa process takes a little bit longer than expected, especially these days. But next year, we are planning to give all the players as much notice as possible.
Sure, from personal experience, it was a little bit of a longer drive down from Vancouver than I expected coming to Seattle. That border was a bit clogged on Thursday night, so.
Hours.
At some points, it felt like days. But actually, yes, we'd love to see some more sponsorship out there. Maybe we can find some, organizations geared to promoting female sport and stuff. So it's a work in progress, just like your snooker game is always a work in progress, and life is a work in progress. But we're happy that everybody's tuning in, and that's what's going to help us as well. Getting a lot of viewership, people enjoying the stream, and sponsors will see that and seeing that the numbers are there and the support is there. So maybe we'll put some financial support in exchange for, their logo to be up on the stream. So baby steps, shall we say, Mike? Baby steps.
Yeah, we had some pretty big baby steps in this tournament with the sponsorships from Littman Lights. They're illuminating these tables very well. The players are super impressed with them. They haven't seen anything like it. The snooker players from Europe. What a pot. Holy mackerel. So yeah, it takes sponsorships like Littman Lights, who, is well known in the pool world, but I think does have a place in the snooker world. And then, of course, Strachan, the cloth, gave a sponsorship to this tournament as well as next week's U.S. Nationals. And Microsoft made a big contribution for this tournament. And looks like Jocelyn is calling this one. What do you think? You want to go over to the Marissa?
I think there's a concession there, and as well in between the frames here while Dave Daly gets it all set up, let's just take a little peek over there to see how Stephanie and Marissa are doing. It looks like it's 10-10 in frame 3 over there. We'll just quickly kind of update the score with our scorekeeper. And as soon as the frame is set up and ready on table 1 with Bex and Jocelyn, we'll get right back there. But, great technology that Mike and his team has over here that we can have 2 tables being able to view.
Yeah, just before Christian left, we set up the second camera. Christian is on vacay. But he's helping out remotely. Definitely always on call there, Christian. Let's head back to Beck's table. Beck and Jocelyn.
Jan, I'll pass along that message to Mary. I think she enjoyed playing her friend Emma, but I don't think she really enjoyed the result, as all these women are fierce competitors when they get on the table. Obviously, as we saw with Emma and Mary this weekend, they looked the best of friends, looked like they travel well together, but at some point they're going to be opponents in the tournament, and there was no love lost there. They were battling it out till the end, but both of them have moved on to the knockout side, so we'll just see how that plays out. There might be a rematch tomorrow.
I have to say it's great having Bex here in Seattle. She's a great player, 2, a good person, and just a really hard worker. She has an amazing story. She didn't have her own table, so she opened up a snooker shop, put a table in there, and started to make money off of it. Just, just making things happen, making what she needs, just manufacturing it in front of her. It was really great to meet her in person. I was hoping to do that when we went over to Sheffield, and lo and behold, we had a nice conversation. She didn't have a sponsorship at the time, and I tried to keep my emotions in check because I felt like, 1, she should have had a sponsorship, and 2, what an opportunity for Ox to step in and sponsor her. Jamie, my wife, plays snooker, and her and I follow Bex. Before we actually met, we follow her on Facebook and watch her coaching tips, and I think I've even messaged her for Jamie, and Bex actually responded. That we felt that was actually kind of cool. So she's very approachable. Oh my goodness. That's unfortunate for Jocelyn. So
She had safety dreams there, but unfortunate. That cue ball kissed into the green and put it into the bottom of the pocket.
something's wrong with the score here. Okay, that's better.
Yeah, it's
Apologies. Brains being split in 3.
Yeah, interesting. A lot of the British players are saying they have the old-fashioned wood and metal scoreboards. Just they slide the points here and there. So Mike has equipped his room with the digital ones. they're a bit. They can be a bit finicky, and with like anything electrical, it takes a little bit to find out how they work. But then when they work, they can work well into your advantage. So a bit of a learning curve for the women in the tournament coming
There's
from
the
Britain.
black ball going. That is unlucky again. You know, it is unfortunate when you're playing somebody like Bex, and to have those type of unfortunate things to happen are kind of soul crushing a bit. But I know Jocelyn, and she probably feels bad about 5 seconds ago, and now she's ready to fight again.
Sure, but these reds are really lovely spread out here. This is
Will she
really
get another chance?
This could be a very large, profitable break here for Bex. So it looks like it's going to go back on its spot.
Might need Dave.
Guess we need a bit more.
You know, for the American players, Jocelyn is well versed in snooker. She has played it in China as well as Chinese 8-ball. She can handle it.
Donnell, you pose a good question. Why the Canadian scene has kind of dropped off the Pro Tour, as they did have such a strong contingent of players over there in the 80s. And I know I feel like if I start asking around back in Canada, I might get fitted for cement shoes or something like that. But we're doing our best up there as well. Hopefully, things can go in cycles. I just wonder if it maybe came from the top. I'm not here to, criticize whatever anyone has done, but if you look back into the history of snooker, you have heard, and I know our friend Dave Hendon on his podcast has mentioned at times that actually the Pro Tour of snooker in the early 2000s was in a lot of trouble. There was just up at the top a little bit of mismanagement. There wasn't many events going on. It was in some serious dire straits. And then Barry Hearn came along and really kind of turned it around, increased the purse money for the tournaments, increased the number of tournaments. So maybe that just had the trickle effect as well into Canada, that there just wasn't the strong scene in Britain as there was. And it just trickled down. So, but hopefully things can turn around, and people are seeing snooker a lot more. As I do remember seeing snooker in Canada as a young lad back in the late 80s, early 90s, and then all of a sudden it did disappear. It wasn't until maybe in the last 8 or so years that this invention called the internet started putting up live sports, and we were all able to find the game of snooker. Unfortunately, sometimes it was on maybe not the friendliest of sites, but now that this company DAZN, pretty sure you've heard of it, they broadcast, or they've got the license for North America to broadcast all the professional snooker tournaments. And when I was over in England and at the World Championships, Mike was over there as well. I had a discussion with Steve Dawson, who's now the chair. He's taken over for Barry Hearn, and they're fully aware, and they're seeing the numbers that DAZN comes, and they know that Canadians and Americans are tuning in to the pro circuit. So they're probably really happy with this tournament, what Mike's doing. And hopefully this will just open the door for more U.S. events and events in Canada, and maybe even a pro stop over there, as there used to be the Canadian Open was an event that was in Canada a while back when snooker was just in its heyday, like back in the 80s. It was the sport to beat. It actually was a stronger sport than football. We call it soccer.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about those numbers with DAZN or DAZN and with Matchroom. I thought she was going to make that one. Those numbers are, I would guess, off just a little bit. I think there's more people watching than those numbers say, because Americans and Canadians, North Americans, are willing to pay the money to watch these streams. But sometimes we have to use a VPN to be in the right country to watch certain things, because we don't have full coverage in North America. So sometimes there's no way to watch.
True.
So just know that those numbers are low, whatever you're getting. So let's bring Eurosport snooker here to America.
True. ESPN, I hope you're listening. And yes, actually, snooker is quite popular in Australia. One reason, Neil Robertson, a fantastic player from Australia, 2010 world champion. So that's another thing that will help a sport grow when youngsters have a fellow countryman or countrywoman to look up to and idolize and want to do that. And Donal, you're quite right with Canada. They won actually the very first Snooker World Cup. And to tie it full circles, obviously, with there was an Australian tournament in 1982. And in the semifinals, there was 3 Canadians, Cliff Thorburn, Kurt Stevens, Bill Werbernick, and one other gentleman named Doug Mountjoy. So they had 3 Canadians in the semifinals. So quite impressive, and it's a little sad that things went downhill, but hey, everything can turn around. And you're right about the time zone. That makes it difficult so much for us, definitely on the West Coast, as the night games usually are around lunchtime for us. With the time difference, most of the time it's in 7 p.m. British time, and that would be 11 a.m. And some of you in the earlier matches, when you get into the World Championships that are at 10 a.m. British time, that's 2 o'clock in the morning for us on the West Coast and Seattle area. So
yeah, I agree with what you're saying, and there is a function called on demand. Eurosport has a great on demand. You can just rewatch them, just as long as they're available. We can watch them. I know Matchroom has a few games that are on demand in case you miss something. But yeah, let's use this technology properly to grow this sport in North America.
yeah, that's what I would like to. If anyone is from DAZN or any people out there listening know DAZN, sometimes they are doing a press and draw of bringing it to us live, but then sometimes when the match is done, poof. It's gone. It's it would be nice.
It's not gone. It's somewhere.
It's somewhere in the ether world or something
we know
like
it
that.
Exists.
But it would be kind of nice if they could they keep the finals up sometimes, but sometimes some of us want to watch, the daily events, like, maybe a quarterfinal match they were looking to tune into. And hopefully DAZN could keep them up, so then when we're done our workday over here on the West Coast, we can have a nice night and
stream them on the club TV. So at Ox, we don't show baseball games, we don't show football games or basketball games. There's plenty of places in Seattle to watch all those sports. What we show here is pool, carom, snooker. We show Q sports, but we are limited on what we can show and expose our customers to and our members. So a little bit of help there would be appreciated.
no lacrosse.
No, this is not a lacrosse club. Yeah. That's hilarious, though.
Well, there's Canada's national sport, so
Is it really?
It is.
I did not know.
Hockey has been, I think, Canada's national winter sport. There might be a little bit debate, but I remember for the longest time that lacrosse was Canada's national sport. And Ox Billiards is a great club in the Seattle area, in the Capitol Hill area. But Mike Dominguez is my fellow commentator here. And maybe, Mike, you can let them know about how the whole Ox Billiards came to be. What is Ox?
Ox is a private and public club. So we have, for our members, we have around 76 members, and they have 24-hour access to the club. So we have members in here early in the morning, late at night, in the middle of the afternoon, whenever we're closed. We have member days on Mondays and Wednesdays, so we're closed to the public on those days, but members still have access. And we have a lot of leagues for pool and snooker on our public days. We give pool lessons, snooker lessons, and what we want to do is raise the standard. So we do give lessons for beginners, and we feed them into the proper league, and then we have tournaments so they can practice put to practice what they've learned. And then from leagues, they typically go into tournaments and become members and practice on the off hours and just get better and better. It's all about the mastery motive, mastery purpose. I think the author Dan Pink writes about the mastery purpose. We're strong believers in that purpose. It's why people put so much energy on the weekends into things like playing the guitar, learning pool, doing art, just things that earn zero money, $0. It's for the love of it. As David Burney says, amateur is for the love of the game. And so that's what Ox is here to do, raise that standard.
Yes, amateurs do it for the love, professionals get paid. Yes, Canada.
Nothing wrong with getting paid.
No. There's that nice balance. There's not many people in the world. There's some very fortunate people that get paid for what they love to do. Yes, Canada did invent basketball. That is correct. Or basketball, sorry. That is correct. So Canada does have a rich history of a wide variety of sports.
I love these questions, Donald. I don't know if I've ever met you, but you're teeing these questions right up. Yes, absolutely. With the support of Empire Billiards, CCU, and Ox, we've developed the Washington State Snooker League. We've also developed the Seattle Snooker Open. So the two clubs, we work together in growing the sport in this area. So yeah, each season, the snooker league grows. We will begin our third season at the end, or after, I should say, the nationals, and we already have more interest than the second. The second season had more interest than the first. We're getting a lot of pool players transferring over to snooker, not necessarily transferring for good, but using it as another discipline to improve their game.
And then as well, myself being up in Vancouver, I work with Mike as well, just letting him know of what's going on in Vancouver. As a lot of, I've seen American players come up and participate in our events, maybe not so much of leagues. We do have some leagues going in Vancouver. This will be our second year of kicking off a league. But we've had the BC Open, which has always welcomed American players to play in. And obviously we've seen a little shortage of it as that pandemic goes around. But now that things are easing up, I know a lot of Canadian players are probably going to be itching to come down for the Seattle Open because they've seen our broadcast that we did last year. And I think their carpets were soaking wet. They were just drooling over these tables because they are just fantastic and play wonderfully.
I'm drooling over that shot. This is a nice break by Jocelyn. She is a competitor. Does that go back? Just barely. That's unfortunate.
Seems like
Did she
she's
see
all
that?
right. Yeah, I think she can get by the blue there for that red. She's going to have to use the rest. No, Jocelyn's not the tallest player in the room, so she has to know to use that rest a lot of the time. But
What
very
a
proficient.
shot. Oh my goodness.
I'm not sure if the BC Open is going to be on Cloud Snooker. Cloud Snooker is a thing that I'm new to, but the BC Open will be February 17th to 19th, 2023. Love to have you up there, Dr. Snooker. You can get advertisements will be made soon about the BC Open as the season's kind of just getting started.
Second prize behind the green.
Yes, Chuck Jones, I couldn't agree more. Snooker is the greatest game. And Dr. Snooker and anyone else there, if they want to know what's going on in the snooker scene up there in Western Canada and British Columbia specifically, can email me at snookerdave21@gmail.com. So snookerdave21@gmail.com. Please no spam, please no harassing, but let's keep it clean and light. And if you want to get involved in some snooker action in Vancouver, you can reach out to me there.
That's how Dave and I met, through that email.
It's true, yeah. I do remember Mike telling me once that he just got the bug of snooker and was just so excited by it. And there's actually, I think, on CC's recommendation, CCU,
Absolutely.
a great player that owns Empire Billiards, was like, hey, there's this crazy Canuck up in Vancouver. He runs some tournaments and stuff. You should just head up there and see what's going on. And
He didn't use the word Canuck.
just crazy.
Yeah, CC went with me to the first divisional tournament up in BC. First one for me. Yeah, CC's been a great friend. So I am indebted to him, really. He's the one that also gave me the lead on where to buy these star tables from Ramil and Arizona Snooker Academy. So it takes a whole bunch of people to get these things off the ground.
And it's just that I'm trying to think of the word to explain it, but like one thing leads to another. Like, you know, coming up and knowing that, and you just start talking about snooker. Like, I discussed with my father that, hey, I'm going to be playing in snooker events or commentating on them, and he's like, I remember that. So then he starts watching it. Same with my mother; they were kind of interested in watching and seeing what this snooker game is all about. Obviously, they were watching a lot of the more pro stuff, but they do turn into these broadcasts, and they're enjoying it. Another friend in Vancouver, a great stand-up comedian, Sam Tonning, came out to a snooker tournament once. We got to know each other, and we started to play, and he's inspired his parents that they're really enjoying watching it. So it's just kind of that leapfrog kind of thing. Someone tells one person, and then it just grows that way. Kind of rather organically it grows.
Yeah, Donald, if I can speak to that point, I would say it's a valid point, but we don't have a price difference here. Snooker tables are the same price as the pool tables. So one thing to keep in mind is if you have a quality room with quality equipment, it becomes a destination for people. So you don't really have to have a showroom. Showroom rent with showroom prices. You can have we're in a basement, and you have to ring a buzzer to get in. It's not the best scenario, but for what we want to do, it works.
And I think, obviously these cue sports, it was the hustle game way back in North America. In Britain, billiards was looking a little bit more classy and stuff like that. So there is that worry, obviously, when people say pool hall, dark room, smoke-filled, shady characters everywhere here and there. Now, are parents going to want to send their youngsters to that? Probably not. So if we can right the wrongs here, you've done a wonderful job here, Mike. It's bright, it's warm, it's welcoming, it makes it a more family environment. Then you're going to see the game expand.
Yeah, we are all ages. As Bex kind of wraps up this match, we are all ages. So there, Jamie first noticed it before I did, but she noticed the young kids would come in, they would have a few games, and then they would come back with their parents. And the parents would really, they wouldn't really play. They kind of just watch everybody, watch the room, see how, an all ages pool hall kind of sounds weird. But, they have a conversation with Jamie or myself, and now with Travis and Damien. They understand what we're trying to do here. And so the parents do let their kids come here. They want to check it out first. And then, they come on by. We take care of them. We make sure they're safe. And they know that if anything feels strange, they come up and talk to us about it. We got their back. That's the future of the sport.
Yeah, it is tough, obviously, with that rent. You do make a good point there. In Vancouver, it is very pricey, that's for sure, because Vancouver used to have a strong scene. They had Seymour Billiards, Jubilee, Chenier Hall, Potters, like places where you probably, I think Seymour Billiards had maybe upwards of 15 snooker tables or something like that. These places were huge, but yeah, definitely the real estate has become so costly that it does make it tough, but maybe some improvisation needs to happen. I like how you're doing it, Mike. It's kind of a private club. Like maybe in Vancouver you find some office space that you could fit, 2 tables or something like that, but you have a kind of a club atmosphere where members, have a certain buzz code or something like that they can get in.
Yeah, absolutely. The only thing that we have to sell is table time and drinks and snacks. But table time, there's only a finite amount of time per day. So for us to be 24 hours and for the members to kind of work their tables by themselves without, using technology to pay for the tables when we're not open, we take advantage of the entire 24 hours a day rather than just while we're open. And so if anybody out there is interested, just give me a call. I can show you how we're doing it. There are no secrets really in this world, so might as well just share what we know with people who want to do the same thing.
And I think it takes commitment behind the scenes as well. Mike, you've done a fantastic job with these tables. The club that I play in, I do a lot of tournaments out of Jonathan Sun's place, Top 147 Snooker and Billiards Lounge in Richmond. But I play out of a club in Vancouver. It's a servicemen's club, and there's 2 snooker tables there. But I have a passion for the game. I really enjoy the game, so I want to, as this club is close to my home and that's my home turf, I want to give the best conditions for the table. So I take the time to brush them or block them or and push through to get good conditions on our table, and it turns around. You see a lot more people coming in that when they know that there's good conditions and there's people taking care of the tables, they will want to come in.
This is a good condition here for Jocelyn.
Nice segue.
Yeah, you like that? Oh, goodness gracious.
Sure, we apologize that we've been going on a tangent. I know there's a match right in front of us.
It's a good one, too.
But we've been prompted by some good questions on the stream, and that's the importance. It's audience participation that
Absolutely.
we really enjoy as well, because we want to keep you wonderful people informed of what's happening in snooker as well as what you're seeing on the table.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool to message Joe Johnson on Eurosport when he's talking. So we do have a little bit of an advantage here with the stream chat on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. So Chuck Jones asks, will we see a future world snooker champion come out of Ox Billiards? Yes. The question is when. If we can hang out for another 20 years, I think we have a chance. And all of a sudden my phone is buzzing.
Is it the next world champion?
Oh no, it didn't go as planned.
Yeah, this is Bex's frame ball right here with 28 in it. If this red goes down, it does now. On the snooker required stage.
Should just roll up on this blue. What do you think? What is she looking at? Oh, she's looking at the pot.
Yeah, good angle on that blue to come up and disturb the yellow. Wow, that's a great shot.
Yeah. Great showing by Jocelyn. Bex is the more experienced player. So, but still, I think Jocelyn did a great job in this match.
Mm-hmm. It's just going to do wonders for her confidence. I'm sure she may have lost, but she's lost to actually a world professional player.
Yeah.
I think Bex is ranked 3rd in the world on the women's circuit. 4th. My apologies. Thank you. But she might be 3rd at the end of this. This is a ranking event. There's some good ranking points.
That's very true.
And Rianne and Anyi and Mink are not here.
They are not here. They're here in spirit, for sure.
Maybe Bex did a little mind games over there. Oh, don't come. It's just, it's America. It's, you
It's
know.
a long trip.
Jet lag.
No, it would have been wonderful to have Rianne, Mink, and Andi here. Our goal is to get them in for next year. What's going on here? We have a little bit of a conversation going on.
Well, 25 on the table. That would.
I think they're looking at the
Snookers
concession?
required. Yeah, the concession rule, as in this tournament, if there's 3 or more snookers needed, when the colors are on the table, then it's an automatic concession. But with 36 and 25 on the table, she would need 3 snookers, but she'll need more. She's got 1, but
it's a good save. But Beck should be able to get this.
yeah, with these high power players, sometimes, you know, as the scoreboard would say, you need 3 snookers to get back and win the frame. But most of the time, you have to lay about like 6 or 7.
Right. To have them stick. Now, I'm an American that plays snooker, so my philosophy would be to pot the bulk colors and try to get a snooker on the more high value colors. And that's probably like the wrong way to think about it, but you're going to need those bulk colors anyway at some point. So if you can pot them.
Yeah, it's one of those head games with the game. It's because, you know, now there's a lot more balls on the table. Well, now they're slowly going down. So there's more of a chance you hit the wrong ball. But then, as you say, you know, when there's some shorter amount of balls there, there's less of a shot to hit. So
yeah. I guess the table, though, if the table's set up a certain way, maybe it makes a decision for you.
Because and there's a concession
Is
anyway.
that it? Yep.
Looks like Bex is going to be taking that group. She'll definitely be moving on. And Jocelyn, unfortunately, is defeated, but she still should be moving on to the knockout round. So maybe these two will see each other again. I think, we're just maybe set up a little bit of bonus coverage. We're going to go over to Marissa Dew and Stephanie Drakulik on table 2. They're in the third frame. They're into the colors. Marissa Dew has a 56-28 advantage. So as soon as Mike gets everything just tweaked up and ready to rock, we'll be over there. There's the visual. He'll just update the score, and we're in business.
Yeah, I guess at this moment, just once again, thank you to our sponsors, Littman Lights, Strachan, and Microsoft.
So that brown is just sitting over the pocket there, so Stephanie definitely is going to want to take that one. Ooh. Just unfortunate that she hit the horn there. This could be a great frame chance here for young Marissa. 13 years young. She's playing like a seasoned vet over there. Ice in her veins. So I think that might do it there. That 7 she has there, that's going to make it 63, 33 with 18 on. I think that's in the 3 snooker concession stage there. Doing a little arithmetic, both looking at it. Not sure if our referee Dave Daly is going to take a look over there. He's the police chief over there, that's for sure. When it comes to the law, it's all about Dave Daly. He's doing a fantastic job. He's really been on his feet all weekend long. So we really appreciate his help. And he's letting them know. So there's the handshakes, there's the concessions. So Marissa, that's an important victory there. So I think, unfortunately, Stephanie Drakulik, she's still going to be in the Challenge Cup, which will be going on. But Marissa could possibly be punching her card into the knockout, as there's some third place wild card spots, as it's 3 groups of 5. The top 2 are moving on, so that's 6, and we have 2 third place finishers that will complete the 8 knockout rounds. So definitely take a look at women's snooker or snookerscores.net to find all the results to see who's moving on. It's David Burney. There's a great shot there of the whole room. You can see what's happening there, and I think we'll be saying good night to everybody. Hope you get home safe, but please join us for Championship Sunday tomorrow. The stream all starts at 3 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, or at Ox Billiards, Seattle, Washington. If you're in the area, come on down. And this is David Burney saying good night, everybody.